Hey Cardcaptor fans, welcome back to the third episode of Defending Cardcaptors. I'm your host, CCYamato, and today is a special occasion because I am joined today by a guest. So please welcome Jeffachu.
Hey, what's up, Cardcaptors? How you doing? This is Jeffachu.
Backstory on Jeffachu, he is actually my legit, real-life best friend that I have known for like 15 years now. Right? 15 years?
We celebrated 15 back while I was still up in Connecticut, so this would be...
We're getting closer to 20
going
years.
on like 17, yeah.
And when he says celebrated, yes, we actually did celebrate a 15-year anniversary. We have
I wrote him a very long note.
We have a legitimate bromance going on here. So yes, thank you for joining me today, Jeffachu.
Of course.
Do you want to give any backstory as to your background with Cardcaptors? Was I the one who got you into it, or were you?
No, actually not. So you mentioned something on your first episode, if I'm not mistaken, it was, where you were talking about how Cardcaptors was created in a way that would not appear super girly for people. Right. And so that way it could bring in the boys of the time in the 90s or the early 2000s. And so it worked on me because I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and all that stuff. And I started watching Cardcaptors one day and I'm like, oh, wow, this is actually really cool. Like, the main hero's a girl and she's capturing all these cards. It's like Pokemon, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Combined. So I actually got really into it. And I would do this really stupid stuff where I'd be swimming in my pool and all of a sudden I was having magical Cardcaptors adventures and all that kind of stuff. So I've been with the series for quite a while.
You got into it more than I did in some ways. But I'm pretty sure, and I want to claim credit for something, I'm pretty sure I got you into the sub at the very least. Like, I got you into the original version. You got me into the Japanese version because this was a time in my life where I didn't know really what anime was. I was watching anime, in parentheses, but I didn't really know what it was. So you definitely got me into the sub version of it, yes. All right, good. I can claim credit for that. But that's not important because we're not watching the sub version today, as I said. This is a show about watching Cardcaptors, and we are watching Allies today. And this is probably, this is one of the more infamous, weird episodes. Do you know why?
No.
Okay, well, for people who don't know, so you know how Cardcaptors was aired way out of order in North America, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so even though that
was this the first episode?
No, this is the third episode of Cardcaptors Sakura, but it was aired as Cardcaptors episode 16.
Oh, that's weird.
So there's a whole lot of there's got to be a whole lot of rigmarole and dialogue stuff to explain why she only has 3 cards, even though by this point she should have half the deck by now. So yeah, that's why this.
I always just assumed she forgot some or left some at home or something,
No, this episode is just really weird because they took the third episode and they moved it way back, and to this day I have no idea why it's so out of order.
I will never understand that.
Other than, obviously Lee, Shaoran is not in this episode, so they're like, well, we got to start the episode, or we got to start the series without him, but I don't know, they still could have started it fairly early and, just not had him, I don't know,
It's weird. It's Cardcaptors, man, it's Cardcaptors.
It is definitely Cardcaptors. So, on that note, let's just go ahead and start watching it.
All right, sounds good.
All right, let's go.
All right, I started.
Okay, good. So, is there anything that you want to comment on now that we're starting on this opening?
This is not a mystic adventure.
No,
this is not a quest for all times.
So see, I left you in the dark about this because what's interesting, we're watching the PAL version.
She looks so cute in that form.
I love that uniform. So
it's just so pure. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So we're watching the PAL version here. So the way, and you can listen, by the way. This is
I've never heard this song in English.
No, because they wrote a song. They wrote their own lyrics. They did the Sailor Moon treatment, and they wrote their own lyrics to the music. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So as I was saying, this is the PAL version, meaning that it was for the English regions outside the U.S. So the UK and Australia. I have a smattering of these episodes, and that's why like the episode quality of this one is so much better. This is an actual 1080p version of the series, which makes me think.
I noticed that sometimes their version of the song doesn't quite match up with the animation.
Yeah.
Because I've watched this a couple of times, and that that part, it used to be in sync with her actually moving around, in those quick little shots. But.
Yeah, they definitely cut it down a little bit. I'm not sure why they had to cut it, but like the opening of all things, why they would cut that. But yeah, they cut it a little bit. So now we're finally in the episode. But yeah, that was the first thing I just wanted to get the jump on you with, like that's something interesting, that the PAL region had a different opening.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Penguins!
Oh no, the penguins! We gotta save the penguin! So, I was recently watching, well, not recently, this was about 2 years ago or so, but I watched the Japanese version with a couple friends back home, because I was starting to get them into it, and we couldn't help but laugh over the fact that she seemed to care more, in this moment right here, she's going to care more about the penguins than she cares about the woman being dragged to her death.
Yeah, it's like, Sakura has some weird priorities sometimes, which, like, that, and this is, for once, it's not a case of, like, her attitude changed in the Cardcaptors dub compared to the Cardcaptor Sakura version. Like, no, this is legitimately kind of a monster moment where she's like, the penguin is... I mean, granted, the woman's head is above water. She's like...
Yes, it's too close. She can...
like the woman's head is above water. She's not gonna like drown or anything. She's fine as long as she can stay up there. But yeah, the penguin is like... The penguin's getting, wrecked. Like, I don't know. Penguins can't breathe underwater. So, like...
Yeah,
right.
Tori to the rescue.
They're birds.
Dude, he just manhandled that cloud card. That's awesome.
He did. Like, even though he doesn't have like magic in the traditional sense, he's clearly like. There's the animation error I was talking about. Like, her hat is the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tori definitely has some kind of magic that lets him manhandle cards anyway. This is, as far as I know, the Australian version, and Matt Hill, the voice of Kira, is actually Australian, so he feels more home. Like, they didn't redub it. Like, it's still the same Nelvana dub regardless. It's just that the other English-speaking countries used all the episodes, whereas in North America we only got like 30 of them, and also way out of order. Yeah. I don't know if the PAL regions played them in order. But that's the thing that kind of shocks me, or what I want to see about this episode specifically is, do they fix the dialogue at all? Because I know some episodes do have different dialogue. Like, like when I get to it, there's like the Silent Card episode actually has some different dialogue at the end. So this one, I'm kind of interested in to see if like the Australian version fixed it.
That's straight up a line one of my friends back home would use.
Come on.
You're like, hey, you can eat all that? It's weird because their voices are so iconic to me.
Yeah.
After seeing the sub, it's so kind of like Tori sounds fine, Toya, but Sakura, it's just kind of different.
It is, but like, it's super nostalgic for me too, because I really enjoy. I really like Carly McKillop as Sakura, and also they just cut out like a full minute of scene there where Yukito comes in and she offers to bring them pancakes, and then she does not bring them pancakes. They cut it out. Oh my god. This so as you could probably tell from the first episode, they do a lot of random small cutting in the first episode, but they just cut out a solid like 2 minutes of this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, Kiro doesn't sound too bad. Like, this is the Kiro I remember.
Yeah, I don't. I'm finding as I'm going through the series so far, I really don't hate any of the voices so far. But I just did episode 2 yesterday, and most of that episode was me going on about how Maggie Blue is the best Madison, the best Tomoyo.
Yeah, I do agree from watching your first episode that she just sounded the most natural out of all of them. Like, between the differences.
Nope, they did not change the dialogue at all. It's like, it's the first 3 cards you captured. It's also the 3rd episode, so you only have 3 cards.
Windy was the first. I was down in the basement.
Okay, so this is...
You didn't even capture Windy.
Yeah, this is entirely...
You just kind of picked it up.
like... Okay, so I see what they're doing with it. I see what they're filling in that 2 minutes that they just cut out with.
With a recap, a flashback,
a flashback from the last 2 episodes. Like they're not even like.
Wait, so you said the original first episode is a lot farther on than what we got. So maybe this is meant to fill in exactly how she got into. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, because remember, like this aired as episode 16, and they didn't air the first episode, so we never saw Sakura open the book the first time. And the episode that actually is the first episode doesn't air until like 2 after this one. It's really screwy. So yeah, then Shadow, where we cut back to yesterday's episode for me, where I was watching this yesterday.
Power of magic. Power of light.
Which it looks great compared to yesterday, because I was watching it on like the 480p version. So today I got the nice 1080p version of this scene.
I've always loved that outfit. I don't know what it is. I think because it's the
Spawn cape, isn't it?
Hmm?
It's the Spawn cape, right? The big red flowing cape.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, it's just, to me, it's very aesthetically pleasing. And it was in the opening all the time, like the very last thing you see before the main title screen.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit while I was watching the episode. Like, this episode, they used it for a lot of the promotional stuff, but they didn't actually air it. Which was always really disappointing.
Dude, he was always so creepy looking.
I loved him. It made me think that more Cloud cards were going to be like that, but most of the Cloud cards are beautiful ladies. I'm still of the opinion that Shadow is the only male card, although I know Time is... Well, Time
I'm pretty sure Time is.
The anime Time is male, but, like, the manga rendering of the cards make it look a little more womanly, but, like, yeah, in the anime, he's definitively male. So, I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing between the anime and the manga.
And technically, there's no real way to confirm whether or not Shadow is male or not.
Yeah, it's just a Shadow. So this is weird. They do Windy, then they do Shadow, and then they cut back to Windy, even though Windy, or the Fly, even though Fly and Windy...
Fly, yeah.
Yeah, Fly and Windy were in the same episode, but they're showing them in this weird order.
Well, I'll capture cards in my pajamas, why not?
I mean, why not? I mean, it wouldn't have been that much effort to change, but sure, why not? It's an emergency.
So, something that I just noticed with Kiro, even though I wasn't, like, I didn't know anime or anything, like I said,
right.
I knew that him saying Sakura that way was always very off.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know what the proper pronunciation would have technically been.
Yeah, and watching this, I still can't decide if I like Sakura or Sakura more, but Sakura definitely sounds more right, even though it's still wrong. Because at least you have the U sound in it instead of a core, like you're saying Sephora or something.
Yeah.
At least you're saying, and generally speaking, when I'm talking about Cardcaptors, I say Sakura, and when I'm talking about Cardcaptor Sakura, I say Sakura. Like the emphasis on the sa.
Right.
Which, for the most part, I mean, with an American accent, you're always going to sound weird.
Yeah.
I'm not far enough in Japanese where I'm really trying to affect my accent yet. Oh, she said it. Roll credits.
Yeah. Thank you, CinemaSins. Yeah, so she's just like looking at those 3 there, and
yeah, because again, those are her only 3.
Is that Shaoran in the background?
No, it's just a generic boy, but like, yeah. I mean,
what's the other dude's name in English?
Zachary.
Yeah, that's it. It looks like Zachary and Shaoran there.
Yeah, it's like
Lee.
That was the most obvious change. Like just Yamazaki to Zachary.
Yeah.
They're cutting so much of this episode.
I don't know. I think Tomoyo versus Madison is quite a leap as well.
Oh, definitely, yes.
it's weird how like with these early like 2000-y 90s-ish anime shows, they kept the main characters' names mostly the same. Like Yugi is Yugi, but then Jonochi is Joey Wheeler, and here Tomoyo is Madison. It's just weird how they make those changes. Like if you're gonna keep the main character's name the same, why not just keep them all the same?
Well,
I get it, but
Sakura's name had to stay the same because her name is written in Romanji all over the place. So like,
but none of the kids in the early 2000s that were watching this would have known that.
I don't know.
Unless they were like huge anime weebs like us. Okay, I see your point.
But no, fun fact about Madison's name. In French, her name is Tiffany, so they keep a T.
Really?
Yes. Some of the foreign language places they actually changed the names, and they cut out another like 3 minutes. So
do we ever get a morning at Tomoyo's house in Cardcaptors? Like where like they have a sleepover or something?
Never have one of those, but there are some
so
episodes.
Then you're saying that Sakura never had breakfast at Tiffany's? That hurts. That was a reach, but I enjoyed it all the same.
Okay, so I got
Hi, Julian.
I got distracted there. So they cut out. Okay, so this whole episode in Japanese is Sakura's heart-pounding first date. They cut out all the aspects of that she's here with Yukito on a date. They just edited the audio to be like they just bumped into each other, and they cut out the scene.
So like I know. I know that that Sakura would have called it a date, but in the original, did Yukito know that this was a date?
I mean, all he did was like, hey, thanks for the pancakes. How about I take you to a nice place to eat? And so he takes her to the aquarium because they have shaved ice there.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it's like he's just taking his friend's kid sister someplace nice because it's he's a cool guy. But like
so he doesn't know that this is a date. Okay.
He certainly doesn't consider it a date. No, he's just being a nice guy.
Well, I mean, considering things that also got left out of the American version.
And that's weird.
About the age difference stuff. That's why I'm kind of like, in the Japanese, did he consider this a date? That's why I was asking more than anything.
Yeah, no, he didn't. And that's just so weird that like...
Oh, that's weird. The little Japanese at the top of her camcorder.
Oh, they left that in. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Like, I guess there was no editing that out because it's on the frame. But whoops. Yeah, like they cut out so much of the romance in this series, but like they never hide the fact that Sakura has a crush on Julian. But
that's innocent. That's a girl having a crush on her older brother's friend. Like that's things kids can get involved in. It's when you actually start having those relationships where it gets creepy.
Yeah, but let's not get too far into that. I'm just saying you think of all the things that they would cut, like they already established that Sakura has a crush on Julian. Why would they cut the date aspect from this episode? Like that's a perfect that of all the things to cut. It just it resulted in having cut out
have her say something like, "Is this our first date?" Have her say something like that. But like keep it in her mind.
Yeah. It's like
Big Brother Tori to the rescue.
You're making unnecessary cuts and editing problems for yourself because you just cut out 4 minutes of an episode for that.
Yeah.
I was sitting right there and I didn't sense anything at all. Close call, huh?
Okay, and I mean that I like to call out the dialogue changes when I remember them, and that scene where she was asking, "Why are you two here?" So it's like. Because, again, in the original version, she thought she was going on a date with Julian alone. She didn't think they were coming along.
Gotcha.
See you tomorrow, sir.
Oh, heads to the batter's box.
Carl!
Of course he's watching baseball in Japan. Instead of football.
Hero, come on. Oh, and I do love this outfit, too. I don't know what it is, but, like, not, like, clowns, but, like, jester-like outfits. I find those aesthetically pleasing for some reason. Don't ask me why. I have no idea.
I don't like this outfit at all. I kind of like the redux of this. Like in Clear Card, they remade this outfit with a modern update.
Yep.
I like the redux version of it more, but yeah, I don't know. I guess you like jesters, I don't.
Water card. If you're here, come and get me. Sakura, this is your
Water's like, all right, here I come. There's no penguins around for me to eat.
I think I
Yeah, so like it's coming up. The first time I saw this,
I have an animation cell from this. From
oh
this
nice.
chase.
We don't actually see her yet. Okay, but like just like how angry her face looks and like the
Oh yeah, Waters.
I'm pretty sure she shows her teeth and everything
Oh
at
yeah,
one point.
Watery
Like
is
I
like
always remember seeing that and being like, jeez.
Yeah, Watery is a straight up siren. Like she's like the Greek version of a mermaid, like with the teeth and just like angry fish woman thing. Not like the beautiful mermaid. This is the violent
Oh no,
mermaid.
this is the I'm going to drown you after I have my way with you version.
It's little moments like that with Madison, which is why I like the original series. Like the animation had a lot more fun with those little cute moments. Like
Yeah.
Clear Card feels a lot more static. And kind of,
Fair. I see what you're saying there, yeah.
there was so much more effort put into this series in the 90s. Not that like I'm hating on Clear Card or anything. I've done that enough when I was watching it.
I
doing
can't believe
vlogs
how
on
many
it.
shots of Wendy's boobs we see. Like, is that just because this is the PAL version? Because I don't remember seeing that in that scene right there. I was like, oh god.
I don't know, but now you're making me have to think about go into the lower res version, seeing did they edit that? But all of it was
Because
done.
I don't ever remember noticing that. I mean, I was a kid, but I think I'd have noticed that.
I feel like I guess I get what you're saying, but
Like, not trying to like sexualize the Wendy card or anything. It's just I noticed it.
yeah, no. Well, see, everything was done by Nelvana, and I'm pretty sure they did it in one take. But then again, I know there are episodes that have dialogue changes. I didn't call it out when this happened, but I don't remember. Did Kiro say his line about the Sakura? Are you sure about this? I haven't learned how to swim in this body yet.
Are you sure you've thought this all the way through? I haven't taken swimming lessons in this body yet.
Don't worry.
I don't think he said that line.
No, I didn't hear it.
So there is a slight dialogue change there.
Unless she said it while we were in the middle of a conversation and we just
might have.
didn't catch it.
I might just go back and splice it in later.
Yeah, this might be one of those, like, just switch it real quick and be like, oh yeah, so they did say it, and then back to where we are.
Okay. So here's another thing that we never got in the North American dub.
Oh, yep.
Because we never
Kira's
got these.
corner.
Yeah.
And exciting up to the minute commentary.
Now the interesting
Yeah,
thing.
it was always like a preview of the next episode, I think it was.
It wasn't always the next episode. It was generally previews of an episode that we never got. So like at the end of this episode, they'd play like the loop card or something, because like we'd never get it, but it's like today's card is loop, and then it would just give you like 15,
yeah.
and then it'd give you like 15 seconds of scenes.
Carry out her plan. Luckily, her best friend was there for her,
So
as always.
yeah, like these Kiro corners are actually in all the versions I have. I don't appear to have any versions that are like straight from TV from the North American version. Because otherwise I would have shown one of those things by now. But all the ones that I have so far that I've seen all have the Kiro corners.
And before this Kira quarter ends, it's interesting. He attempts to do the what's the exact phrase? Like the Heidi ho or whatever.
Yeah, he
but
does
he
that.
doesn't do it exactly the same in English, I don't think.
You'll know.
It's similar, but I don't think
Yeah.
it's exactly the same.
Yeah, he definitely does it a little, and he did it in the first episode too. You'll notice here, by
That's
the way, this is
interesting.
also,
They gave this one English lyrics also.
What, I actually, I did take all of these openings, because there's two openings and two closings for the English for Cardcaptors. I spliced them into a video. They're on my channel privately right now. I haven't actually shared them because I'm afraid Pioneer or someone will come after me with an axe. But
Makes sense.
I could probably get you the link later.
Maggie Blue O'Hara.
Yeah, the voice of Madison. So I've only ever heard her in one other thing.
I didn't know that was her name.
Yeah.
Her
I've only
middle
heard
name
her
is
in one
Blue?
thing. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think it's actually like you're supposed to call her Maggie Blue. Like I think those are both.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that's what it is.
That makes a bit more sense.
I guess you could probably just call her Maggie O'Hara, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind. But I don't know. I've never actually seen her in an interview or anything. Yeah,
so that was Allies.
Yes, that is the 3rd episode. So what do you think?
It was good. Like I said, it's such a nostalgia trip for me, and I saw it recently again a couple years ago in the sub version, but this is the first time seeing it in English, and I don't know, I enjoy it. I've always had a soft spot for this series, even if it is not as good as the sub. I'm a fan. Yeah,
so I agree. I do like it, although this is probably the first episode where I'm going to come down a little hard on the editing choice because, again, like I was saying, like they cut out the entire date aspect in their attempt to, like, I don't know, cut as much relationship stuff out of the series as absolutely possible. So this is one of those cases where this is the first time where it's been noticeable, where like they cut that out entirely, and it's the relationship between Sakura and Yukito is is on the scale of inappropriate to appropriate relationships is way closer to appropriate compared to some of the others in the series, which again I don't want to get into because I don't want this to be that kind of show. But you can't talk about Cardcaptor Sakura without possibly mentioning it. But yeah, it's such a weird edit. But yeah, that is Allies. Thanks for joining me, Jeffachu. Do you have anything that you want to pitch of your own before we say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, you guys, if any of you Cardcaptors are also Kingdom Hearts fans out there, I have a channel on YouTube, so originally titled Jeffachu, that I do a Let's Play of the full Kingdom Hearts 1, and I've got some KH3 up there. I've got some other stuff I'm planning to bring to the channel pretty soon. I'd tell you to follow me on Twitter, but I don't remember what my precise Twitter handle is.
That's okay.
You search Jeffachu. I'm sure the only one there that has a beard and a keyblade that is Pikachu.
I'll put some annotations. I'll put some annotations in the video. But
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I can.
So that's all my stuff. All
right. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you next time.
All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.